There must be war. God wills it!
In Islam, if it's meant to hit you, it will hit you, and no matter what, we'll take that away.
Simplest of all psalms. It's the psalm everybody loves.
I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
It was after this letter of Lenin that mass persecution of the clergy began.
Now the Hindu right-wing groups have struck again.
Blockhütte in Wald bauen, wo wir Namen draufschreiben und dann warten, bis irgendeiner sich...
Warned party members to give up any religion they may be following.
Asahara predicted that Armageddon would occur in the 1990s. It was rush hour when the sarin gas began to spread through Japan's subway system.
Couldn't be happier about what we're about to do.
Hello? Yes, I need to report an anonymous tip.
Became the largest mass suicide on U.S. soil.
No one is coming to save you.
If you thought this would exclusively be about the Christian faith, sorry. Faith is a complicated thing that can't be put squarely into neat categories. Even if your beliefs state that an issue is black and white, it only works with others who have bought into your views, or at least tolerate and honor them respectfully. Matters of faith are matters of emotion, and contrary to the common phrase, facts don't care about your feelings, feelings don't care about your facts. And while people imagine religious fanatics being the primary cause of mayhem, faith isn't limited to religion alone. Trust the science. Over the next hill will be done. Don't worry, Mom and Dad will protect you. Help is on the way. Many people place faith in institutions of government, in other people to do the right thing, in long-established methodologies. There are people who think the entire scientific community is a sham. The irony of communicating on a smartphone while insisting that the world is flat. In very vocal internet-based echo chambers, there's rejection of the medical community as a whole, despite the fact that life expectancy has doubled over the last century, where formerly common maladies like scurvy and polio have been largely eliminated. When was the last time someone was placed in an iron lung? Of course, some people in power will violate that trust to enrich themselves or gain fame and favor among people. That's why placing so much faith and power in the words of one man is so dangerous. You will never completely know how someone will behave until they have it. Do you remember when you were young? Do you remember anyone from that time that you looked up to and thought, this person has it figured out, now I just need some advice? I'm sure we can look to a person we thought knew everything. Even in the military or in other government service, there are high-speed guys that had you thinking, shit, I could be like them if I follow everything they do exactly as they do it. That's faith. It doesn't have to be religious. And all faith isn't always good. It can produce fanatics that believe they're right no matter what. No matter the age, evidence, culture, or political ideology, no one is immune from the propaganda that stirs emotions to ignite the fiery feeling of a righteous cause. So if faith is dangerous, no matter what it's placed in, how can we assume we are good, at least from the traditional standpoint? It isn't easy, and there isn't a simple answer that can be summed up in one random YouTube video. It's a journey of self-reflection of your values, and knowing that having faith, that hope to survive for a better future, is the most basic form of faith that's propelled humanity through some of its darkest times. No one knows what the humans worshipped when we were reduced as a species in various genetic bottlenecks, but we persisted and are still here. No lone survivor was ever given a fulfilling end to their existence, if one could call total solitude that. We've always come together. If our natural state is isolation and mistrust, then none of the greatest achievements of the last 10,000 years could ever be possible. We as a species protect our weak from the predator and guide the next generation to become better and stronger men and women. The problems we see stem from a lack of guidance, not from people who think they're better or know it all or claim to have figured out some kind of secret. True, wisdom-based guidance. How many of us hit an older age and realized there was no benchmark that automatically unlocks a deeper understanding of the world just because we ticked off one more day on the calendar? That comes from a deep level of introspection on the meaning of being a good person, and as Marcus Aurelius said, it's time to stop thinking about what makes a good man and simply be one. We know, at some primal level, what that means. That's why when we lash out inappropriately or heavy-handedly in response to adversity or perceived slights, we innately feel some level of regret, whether we publicly acknowledge it or not. Many of us, myself included, find it easier on our own mental load to simply lay some or all of the blame on other people or factors outside of our control, even if the problem stems from our own bad habits or decisions. Despite having dealt with some of the worst people in the world, I've never met a person who truly believed they were the complete bad guy. The ones that truly reveled in that perception of themselves cared for no one but themselves. But, contrary to modern pop social media psychology and a self-diagnosing population, true psychopaths are actually very rare. It turns out people can just be assholes. They have a broken view of the world, and while that would never excuse any kind of heinous activity, it helps understand where the issues stemmed from and how to combat that in the future. We should remember that the world is what we make of it and guide it. Nothing we see or experience was ever created in a vacuum. Faith, of any kind, can lead people to do terrible things, but also never forget that there are people who work to bring out the best in any situation, many of them whose names and actions will forever remain unknown to the world. Saviors and guardians, mentors and teachers, they are there. They give people hope and are seen in their communities as the pinnacle of character. The act of being brave goes hand in hand with the power and resolute surety of faith. When you incorporate that with the basic tenets of truly being a steward of the world, a guardian in your slice of it, I hope you can imagine how many people you can inspire to emulate your example. True faith, true bravery, doesn't manifest in someone who beats their chest and creates a spectacle and reassures themselves of their station. The people who embody true faith and true bravery, they guide, they seek areas of improvement and work within them, and when called on, they act and they persist, and through faith, they believe that things will get better. And that can show the true power of faith, brought into this world by a single good person. You are always going to be the sum of your own actions.
A blanket of protective smoke so he could run. 12 seconds in and out, she was safe.
You three are with your parents there.
There's kids on the front line with their parents, so why shouldn't we be out there helping them as well?
It's gonna be all right. It's all right.
Helped 3 men pry open the rear driver's side door. The release of the pressure allowed the other men to open the rear passenger side door, where they found an infant boy limp.
And within seconds, she spit up a bunch of water.
Arresting 5 suspects, 4 men and 1 former beauty queen, all charged with child trafficking.
How many of you? 13. Brilliant.
All right, step out of the car. Don't smell like that. Step out of the car, bro. Step out of the car. Step out.
It's scarcely believable, but there can be moments of deep joy amidst the devastation. Like when a little boy is found apparently unscathed.
One 9-second video stands out.
A baby handed to US Marines over razor wire.
An 8-man team entered the building, which had been secretly bugged during the siege.
And actually got into the burning home first. This is Nicholas Bostic that you see here carrying a girl to safety. That girl is okay, but Nicholas breathed in a lot of smoke that night.
Until the next video, be good, stay safe, and have a good one.